McVay was grumpy. That's not me and that's not a fan. That's what the man himself said the morning after the draft. His own head coach walked off that stage visibly sour and then had to admit the next day to reporters. When your own coach looks like he just got rear-ended into the parking lot after announcing your first-round pick, that tells you everything. The pick was stupid Ty Simpson, Alabama cornerback, number 13 overall. And I want to walk through exactly why this is a horrible pick at the most horrible position at the wrong time for my team. So here's the context you need. The Rams just went 12-5. They made the NFC Championship game and were one game away from the Super Bowl, with Matthew Stafford playing the best football of his entire career. 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 109 passer rating, and the man won MVP. He's not declining and he is not done. And their biggest need coming into this draft was far from quarterback. They needed a wide receiver. NFL said it, the ESPN said it. Every single beat writer covering this team said it. The third receiver spot is wide open, and their second, Devontae Adams, is an ancient man and on the last year of his contract. And behind Adams and Puka Nacua, you have some straight BS in Konata Mumfield and Jordan Whittington. That really showed up in the divisional round loss to Chicago. Their receiving depth is very thin, and their skill players are, and I'm quoting Real Writer here, a bunch of unathletic, maxed-out receivers. That's not me being mean, and that's an honest assessment. And with pick 13, the Rams had a chance to fix it. Makai Lemon was right there. Biletnikoff award winner and the best college receiver in the country in 2025, with 79 catches, 1156 yards, and 11 touchdowns. PFF ranked him the number 1 receiver in the class, and his NFL comparison is Amon-Ra St. Brown, which, for a McVay offense that basically invented how to use a slot receiver, he should have had every person in that Rams war room screaming his name. And he was there at 13. The Eagles grabbed him all the way down at 20, and they were reportedly jumping for joy. Makai Lemon in his Sean McVay offense, with Matthew Stafford throwing to him this year, developing into your wide receiver 1 when Adams walks. That is a true football decision, and that was the smart move. Instead, we got a developmental quarterback who, by league sources, is projected to be, and I quote, a good backup or a low-end starter, a lot like Drew Lockett or Jacoby Brissett. Drew Lock. And it wasn't just Lemon. Kenyon Sadiq, Oregon tight end, ran a 4.39 40 at the combine, fastest tight end time in the years. Mel Kiper had him as the number 1 tight end in the class. Multiple mock drafts had him going to the Rams specific at 13 because of the fit in 13 personnel, McVay's specific and unique defense, 3 tight ends on the field is so obvious it writes itself. The Rams led the league in 13 personnel usage last year, and the tight ends combined for over 1,000 yards receiving and 17 touchdowns in 2025. Sadiq goes to the Jets at 16, 3 picks later, and he's going to be a problem for the next decade. And on defense, the linebacker room, Omar Spates. A real scout's breakdown for the divisional loss to Seattle says his missed tackles were as responsible for the loss as the secondary was. The league is going 12 and 13 personnel on everyone now, and you need an off-ball linebacker who can run with tight ends and man coverage. That need was real, and they passed on it to a quarterback who's trash. McVay's exact words when asking about Simpson's timeline would be, whenever the time comes for him to get an opportunity to be Matthew's successor will be on Matthew's terms. Matthew Stafford is a free agent every year. He almost went to Las Vegas last offseason. Negotiations this year were smoother, but now you've drafted his replacement without looking him up, and McVay is on camera trying to manage the optics of it in real time. It's not a clean situation, but a mess they made themselves. And for what? A guy anonymous NFL executives are already comparing to journeyman backups before he's thrown a pass? That's what kills me as a fan. The Rams went into this draft with so much flexibility. There was no glaring holes, a very strong roster, and a real Super Bowl window that is wide open right now. This was supposed to be the pick, the best player available and someone who helps you now or is so obviously you can't pass him up. Lemon was available and fits the offense, would help immediately. Sadiq was also available, he was a historic athlete and helps immediately. A linebacker would fix the Spates problem, it was available, and helps the defense now. Instead, they took a guy that he had secret meetings with that the GM had to apologize for on the Pat McAfee show. Literally said, really bad for Ty. Poor guy stayed on script and used their highest draft pick since 2016 on him, even though they traded away their lower draft pick to pick up Trent McDuffie. Their highest pick since 2016. On the number 2 quarterback in this draft class, not even number 1. Fernando Mendoza was the top consensus, and Simpson was by far second. McVay was grumpy, I'm grumpy, and the difference is now he has to go to work with this kid every day. I just have to watch.